So we're starting to get to that time where ice fishing season's starting. Ice is forming on our lakes up here, and some guys have been out already, probably about another week or so, and it'll be safe enough to get out there with a sled, so I'll be out soon. So what I wanted to talk about today was just preparing your ice fishing electronics for the new season. And there's a few things you should do just to make sure you don't run into any issues out there. And the first thing is the battery. You know, the battery is basically what's powering your unit out there, and we have to make sure that you have a good charged battery. So just like we charge up our boat batteries during the winter once a month, we need to do the same for our ice fishing batteries just to make sure that they last through the season. So I just set up a charging station like this in a little tote. I got each of my batteries in there right next to an electrical outlet, and I just go through battery by battery to charge them up through the summer when I'm not using them. I'll usually charge about once a month, and I've had these particular batteries here for going on about 7 years now. So once I've ensured my batteries topped up, I just go back here, double check my connections, make sure they're tight. This one here is not. As you can see, it just slides on and off. So I'm going to just crimp that down with pliers to make sure I have a tight connection. So once I have the unit turned on, the next thing I want to check is my system information here. It's in the About, and I just checked the software version. So this is version 4.0, and I just want to verify that that is the latest version. If it's not, I will go ahead and update it. In this case, this is a HDS 5 Gen 2, so this version's been out since I think 2015. If you have a newer unit like a Elite HDI, Chirp, or a Hook unit, or you have like a Humminbird Helix or a MarCum or something like that, chances are those units that are still current in their product line will have updates available. Okay, so I just went to the Lowrance website here, click support, view all updates, and then this will give you an idea of what you can expect. So the Elite HDI and Chirp, there was an update in October, same thing for the Hook unit. And if I scroll down here, this one, that's what I run, the Gen 2, so back in 2005 was the last time. So I got current software on mine, but just one thing to check, no matter what brand you have, just update your software. So one other thing I want to do just before I get out on the ice is just take my transducer and just hold it over a hard surface like the floor that's made out of concrete or anything. You just don't want to do it over carpet. And as you can see, I'm getting a sonar return already. As I raise the transducer, it changes. As I lower the transducer, it changes. So that is telling me that my transducer is working, my unit's working, it's receiving the signal from the transducer. It's not really telling me much more than that, other than, everything is working. So at least there'll be no surprise when I get out there and don't get a reading. I'll know that there's no issue, that this is working. It doesn't really test the signal strength of it, but it is giving me good indication that we are seeing a transducer and unit that's functioning properly. So it's a good thing to check this before you go out so there's no surprises when you do get out there. So those are the main things to check when you're getting your unit ready. First you got good battery power while you're going to be out there during the day, that your connections are all good at the battery, that your software is up to date, and that your transducer is working. Just a few things, takes about 5 minutes to do, and it just will alleviate any surprises you may have your first trip out. So take a look at some of my other videos on how to set up your units. They'll really help you out when you're on the ice to learn more about the different settings and when to use them. I have them available for the Elite Chirp units, the Hook units, and as well as the HDS units.